Oliver's floating island. Oliver was a boy with a heart full of wonder. While other children played games in the streets or read books under the old oak tree, Oliver spent his days staring at the sky, lost in daydreams of far-off lands, talking animals, and castles in the clouds. One evening, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle, Oliver felt something strange in the air, like the whisper of a dream just waiting to be discovered. The breeze carried a scent of something unfamiliar, something magical. Then, out of the twilight mist, it appeared. A floating island glimmering above the treetops, drifting lazily like a great ship in the sky. Its trees shimmered with silver leaves, and waterfalls tumbled over its edges, dissolving into mist before they could reach the ground. Lanterns glowed like fireflies, and in the distance, Oliver swore he could hear laughter. Without hesitation, he ran toward the nearest hill, his heart pounding with excitement. And just as he reached the top, a ladder of stardust unraveled before him. With a deep breath, Oliver climbed. Up and up he went, each step feeling lighter, like the weight of the world was lifting off his shoulders. When he finally reached the top, he found himself standing on the softest grass he had ever felt. It smelled of fresh rain and morning dreams. "Welcome, dreamer," came a voice. Oliver spun around to see a girl made of light and moonbeams, her eyes shimmering like galaxies. "You found Imaginaria," she said, spreading her hands toward the magical world around them. "The floating island of dreams." Oliver gasped. He had imagined places like this before, but never had he thought they could be real. All around him, dreamlike creatures danced. Cloud-like foxes that ran through the air, trees that whispered lullabies, and rivers that sparkled with the glow of forgotten wishes. "But why is it floating?" Oliver asked, wide-eyed. The girl smiled. "This island is carried by the dreams of those who still believe in magic. It floats because of imagination. If the world stops dreaming, the island will fall." Oliver's eyes widened. "Then what happens if people stop believing altogether?" The girl's glow dimmed slightly. "Then the island will disappear forever." Suddenly the ground trembled. A low, sorrowful wind blew through the trees, making the lanterns flicker. The sky above them darkened. Oliver turned to see a shadow creeping along the edge of the island. A cold mist slithered across the grass, and in the center of it stood a tall figure, wrapped in swirling darkness. "A forgetter," the girl whispered. Oliver shivered. The forgetter had no face, only a shifting void, and with each slow step it took, parts of the island crumbled into nothingness. "People are forgetting how to dream," the girl said, fear in her voice. "Every time someone stops imagining, the forgetter grows stronger." Oliver felt a spark of determination in his chest. "Then we won't let that happen." The girl turned to him, hope flickering in her starlit eyes. "But how?" Oliver thought for a moment. Then he closed his eyes and did the one thing he had always been best at. He imagined. He imagined a sky filled with floating castles and flying fish, rivers made of melted rainbows, and books that whispered their stories aloud. He imagined colors so bright they painted the air, and melodies so beautiful they wove the wind into song. And as he did, the island trembled again, but this time it was rising. The silver trees straightened, the lanterns flared brighter, and the mist of the forgetter was pushed back by waves of golden light. Oliver opened his eyes and saw the forgetter shrinking, dissolving into the nothingness from which it came. The sky cleared, and the stars shone brighter than ever. The girl laughed with joy. "You saved Imaginaria!" Oliver beamed. "Then let's make sure it never falls again." From that night on, Oliver shared his stories with everyone he met. He told tales of floating islands and creatures of light, of endless adventures and dreams that never faded. And as long as even one child believed the island remained, drifting high above the world, carried by the dreams of those who dared to imagine. And somewhere in the heart of the sky, Oliver's floating island continued to soar. The end.